And welcome all to the oneM2M Stakeholders Day. I am Akash Malik from TSDSI, your host, and I, along with Jaskirat, will be hosting this workshop for the day. So we are already 18 minutes past 9. So without further ado, we'll start with a welcome note from Ms. Bindu Srivastav. So I request her to come here and welcome all and give a brief about this workshop.
Thank you, Akash. Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A very warm welcome to India and to the oneM2M Stakeholders Day, which is being hosted after a gap of nearly 4 years. We are delighted to have the oneM2M experts as well as IoT M2M evangelists, innovators, solution providers to this workshop. The idea of this workshop is to get the oneM2M and the IoT M2M experts, enthusiasts to talk to each other, exchange notes on what's happening, both on the application side, the user community side, as well as on the technology side, and how exchange ideas about how the user feedback can be incorporated in the oneM2M framework, and how oneM2M framework as it evolves can be used by the user community. This workshop is being held right after the oneM2M technical plenary meeting, which has just concluded yesterday. 4 days of intense conversations, deliberations on release 4 and release 5 of the oneM2M framework, details of which would be provided by the subsequent speakers. I have been associated with oneM2M since 2015, 2016, and I have been responsible for the Marcom activities of oneM2M actively since the last year. And over the years, the underlying theme, the refrain remains the same. oneM2M is a framework which can be adopted by developers, by application providers, and users from a very, very small segment with a very small app, and then you can grow it as your needs evolve and as you learn more about the system. So that's the beauty of the oneM2M framework. I would encourage the participants to maybe go through the oneM2M specifications, the resources on the oneM2M website, and learn, try to get to know more about the framework and the specifications. And if you have any queries, you can always reach out to TSDSI in India and the other partners across the world. Other than this, look forward to an intense set of deliberations today during the workshop. Thank you very much.
I would like to thank you, Ms. Bindu Srivastav, for opening the workshop. Now to the next, I would like to welcome Mr. Enrico Scaron, who is the oneM2M Steering Committee Chair, and is also the Chairman of HCTC Smart M2M. So, over to you, sir.
So first of all, buongiorno, which is what we say in Italian as greetings at the beginning of a day. So thank you very much for being invited here. It's a great honor, and it's always a great pleasure to be in India with the Indian people, which are always of a unique kindness and cleverness. So thank you very much for that. In name of partners of oneM2M, thanks for all the organization. What I would like to say in these days are 2-3 things that for me are really important for oneM2M, but more in general for IoT. The first thing is not technical. As I said, it's a great pleasure to hear, meet people, and it was always one great part of my job. That's really one important thing. But nevertheless, I have also people in Italy which I like to meet and stay with. So it's always an effort. What is the real driver? The real driver is that I believe that IoT can change really the life of the people. It's really the people at the very end, the core of IoT. You think what we are doing with oneM2M is to try to help a sort of evolution of a technology to help the people. Thanks to two concepts which are very important. One is the digital transformation, the fact that we have a lot of technology which arrives, and we need to help the use. I saw that in India, for example, you use it, even simple technology, but in a very clever way, for example, to give the accounting to all the people. I saw these things was really great, this stuff. And we can do more sophisticated things, more clever things, and oneM2M can help a lot in these things. The other message is that is the other thing which is very important, and I think that for Europe is really one of the leading reasons for trying to push up more quickly and try to speed up, is what is called the sustainability or green transformation. We are all in a single world and we need to take care because we don't have a backup. A lot of activity and drivers were exactly related to improving the management of resources, improving the way in which we control the use, and we control also what's happened as all the residual waste that we leave in the environment. That's another part which is very important. Just to say that for oneM2M, one of the really core things is helping people at the end, speed up in this digital and this green transformation. It's an enabler, it's a technical enabler. As technical guys, we can do the technical part. Really, what we have is try to influence the mindset of the people. That's really things. Even myself, when I installed the solar panel, I start to check the production, the charge of the battery, and I decide to switch off on off from remote the washing machine. I was not doing that before having the technology to see things, and not necessarily sometimes is sophisticated technology. Sometimes is something relatively simple, is the service at the core. Now we come to the second point. oneM2M is designed to facilitate the interoperability, the interworking between services, trying to put things together. On one side, it helps a lot if you have your own service, but it exploits its maximum benefits when you have to use different technology. You have different devices with different protocols. You have a different platform to connect with. That's a place because there is an old rule: more points than you connect and more you create services. And one of the drivers is exactly to try to move some of the effort which is currently done today, repeating several things, building the platform, building the management of the platform, building all the system around the solution. Okay, spend a little bit less on that. Try to reuse what is available rather than reinvent, and move a little bit more money on inventing services and creating services. That makes really the transformation. So this is in the driver. Now, other thing that I want to highlight is that it's still related to the mindset of the people, but it's the mindset of the company people. oneM2M per se is relatively simple to be used. Sometimes it's complex as a platform, but you cannot expect that a platform with a lot of functionalities is simple. It's not that you have to rebuild AWS platform or Microsoft Azure platform. It's not easy for anybody. The nice thing is that oneM2M is there, is built in by a lot of people. We have a lot of open source implementation. So even the platform side, you can play quite relatively, it requires some effort, maybe The nice thing is that when you go to develop the service, it's very easy to be used. It's something really go straightforward. The RESTful approach is something that is really something that make straightforward. We need to, let me say, we need to have people which knows the service. The best result that we had in implementing services when we have experts from the association or experts from some companies which know very well their products. They have a rough idea of what they want to do, remote maintenance or having increasing of services. And we cross-correlate with them and we explain how to do it. We are the expert about how to connect, how to manage communication, how to make remote communication, how to share not only data, but to share information carried of data on different protocols. That's what oneM2M it is. It's a big interworking framework between diversity, services, devices, platform, which allow to share not only the data, as I said, the information inside the data. And that is really good. That's one thing. The last thing that I want to say is that oneM2M is also working well. It has been designed at the edge of the technologies in advance some years ago, so it's very up to date today. Probably was a little bit too much in advance some years ago. Now it's at the edge of the technology, but it's exactly, it fits in what is the technology today. And correlated to that, there is the fact that it's being designed with quite solid foundation, and it works. It works well. We have already deployed a lot of services in a lot of different environments. Just to give an idea, I'm talking just what I see in Italy. We have one port, the port of Livorno, which is on oneM2M. We have services for NB-IoT and for cellular. It's used in my company for sharing data as the platform behind, especially NB-IoT and cellular IoT. We have waste management. We have smart cities. So it works. It works well. Services like for tourists to improve experience visiting museum or visiting archaeological area. So there are really, I cannot count, probably on our, especially on the experimental platform, we have more than 1,000 different services collected along the years in a very different sectors, and it works. That is good because we can provide something with question, really. I was already finished in the sense that the last concept that I want to say is that oneM2M is very stable, works, is backward compatible, but is still evolving quite a lot. We are working on technologies like digital twins. We are working on to increase further the semantic ontology work. We are working on the metaverse. We are working on a MEC. So it's still going on integrating more technologies and having more way of integrating such technologies inside oneM2M. That's essentially the closure of the message. But I would like to ask 1 minute for asking if you have questions. As telecom guy, we developed our platform for NB-IoT and for cellular IoT. If you have questions in this area, I'm very happy to answer now or to answer offline. Even I will stay very, unfortunately, I have to take my flights relatively early, or by email, if you can ask my contact to Bindu. The other thing is that another point that we can help is to have content about how we succeed to engage some vertical through association and not only through companies, because there are associations in all the sectors. Sometimes I discover even an association that I didn't know that exists, like the Association of Ventilation System inside building, which was not one of the typical one, but they have a congress like the Mobile World Congress for their technology. Everyone has his own place. talking with this guy, talking with the association, it's possible then to contact companies which are interested to be at the edge of technologies and try to be ahead of the technologies. And this is an experience that I want to really to have an occasion to transfer if possible. I said, I don't know if we have time for question now, but feel free, or maybe make one question we can when do, or we are related too late. Okay, if you have one question about that, or you'd like to know more, elsewhere, we can go offline, and we can be always available for answering to questions. Okay, not ready at the beginning. Probably you will be ready after the presentation of my colleagues. Anyhow, you keep the message. If you want to contact and try to work in this direction, we can share this kind of experience. Thank you very much.
Now I request Ms. Bindu Srivastava to kindly facilitate Mr. Enrico Scarone with a memento for as a token of appreciation.
Oh, thank you so much.